doing his thing. So yeah, but yeah, he just kind of hustled his way into the business, into Vietnam, and just he did everything from like voiceover, video editing, to being a photographer, all the way to building equipment, importing equipment, and running a whole running a motel. He was a GM for a motel in
That guy,
California.
guy sounds like OG hustler, man. He did anything and everything
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So it's like he's all over the place. Yeah.
So
So,
is
but
that a
yeah.
common thing in your family? The old, be your own boss, be your own thing. I mean, is that where
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
you, you
think
got this
so.
from?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, at least for me, at least what I see from
Yeah.
my perspective is that, yeah, I see that, and I see like, I mean, I worked in a corporate environment for a few years, and I just didn't like it, and I know I didn't like it, and I know that there was more to it, and yeah, and then but I knew I needed it, right? I knew I needed that experience or that knowledge, but it's always in me, yeah. And then yeah, looking at my uncle and my dad and people around, yeah, I think it was like I was more, Actually, a good example is like my best friend in high school. He comes from a post office family. His father was a postman. His mom is a postwoman. She works at the post office, and then he became a postman, worked at the post office. So following the father's footsteps, or the family's footsteps, and so forth. And they're happy, and they're good. But yeah, I think always saw it the opposite. I was like, no, man, I would always want to do something completely different, or do something that is a little bit, much bigger than myself, kind of thing. So I always have this, my wife always makes fun of me. It's like my visions are always bigger than, than my pockets and or things that I can handle. It's always like all over the place. I always come with, oh, I have an idea. Oh my God, I just thought of something. She's like, oh my God, here we go again. Not again, not again. you know. And I do this to her constantly. And yeah, I think it just happens to be like that with yeah, just the
I
way.
think that's a it's a common thing, man. When I went back to Vietnam
Yeah,
in 2008, the first thing you notice is that there's a bunch of small businesses everywhere,
yeah,
and if given the enough funds, it doesn't take much. You go up and down the street and you see the little banh mi lady and the
yeah,
guy who's there's I think it's in the Vietnamese genes, right? To be your own boss, to be, as
right.
we say, Vietnamese, ông chủ, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and even the
Oh yeah.
Vietnamese, man, when we came to America, right? The ones who could go to school went to school, but the vast majority also, as soon as they could save us some money, as soon as they knew some just communicative level English, right?
Yeah,
They started their own enterprise.
yeah.
My folks were one, and I know a lot of other people who right into America. It didn't take them long, maybe a couple of years in, and they were able to save a little money here and there, and they opened up some kind of small business.